This is some of the delamination repairs that we have to do. It's going to be right here where the X's are. Right here. Top is fine. And the same right there. That's the side back. This is the driver's side. And we just have in the front right there on this side. There's nothing on the top. Front's got a hard shell. So this one on this side. And are there any other areas up there that need to be? Is there any blue tape up there?
No.
No? Okay. Nope. That's it. Those are the areas we got to work on. Okay, this is our cruiser right here. We've got some delamination issues here. There's a little bit right here. You can see how it just wants to bounce in there. There's a couple of spots. So water obviously has gotten in there and rotted that out. Could have come from the corner mold. Now this one was really bad. Just to give you an idea, this is what we're looking at. So we're going to separate this. That's what we're trying to do right now. We're trying to release it. And then we're going to relaminate it back together. But it was really bad. It was just all, you know, just like this on the back. Now this is a different design than some of them. Some are ply foam. So instead of having that batten insulation in there, you would actually have a piece of foam in there, which would make the whole wall assembly. And then this 1/8 inch would be glued to the foam, laminated to the foam. This Phylon right here will be laminated to the 1/8 inch. That's typical. This is just a different design. So what they did is they fastened 1/8 inch to the frame. This is how they did it. And then they laminated this sheet to the 1/8 inch. So it's still never going to be as tight, but it'll be pretty good. That's the way it should be right here. So that's what we're working with. So we're just giving you an update on this. We have to release all this. And the reason we're trying to do that for two reasons. One, this back piece is very expensive. This back piece of Phylon, very expensive. Then we're going to have to get decals. If we can salvage all this, we can put it back together the way it came. And then down the road, if you go to sell this coach, if I buy a new piece like this, it's going to be so white, it's not going to match this side. Someone comes and looks at it, first thing they're going to be saying is, hey, what happened to the back? So that's why we try to keep it looking as original as you can. Got all the lights off, and we're just trying to release it right now. So we got to get some product on there to get it to release the adhesive. Some of it's still glued on there pretty well. Like up in here, you can see that's glued real well. Right in here as well. But nonetheless, we still got to get it all released because we had so much trouble on this right side and on the top, so there's only a few sections. So we shall keep you up to date on our cruiser. And back here at our cruiser, we're going to go to the front. And we have a little bit of delamination right here. You can see all this. Look at here, the other thing that I want to show you. Look at this. Gasket doesn't meet, so you get some water coming down there. We got a split in there. We're going to see if we can doll that up right there without it being too conspicuous. That's got some staples just running in here. I think there may be one or two screws holding that on, but that water got behind there. And then I want to see what's causing all this. See if you can notice how much. See how much that's moving. So I'm going to investigate that. All this has got to come off. Back at our cruiser, got a fan on here. Got some dampness in there, mainly down there. So we just wanted to make sure it was all dry. We'll get some mold kill on there. Just a little damp, discolored, but otherwise it's okay. We're just going to get some air on here and clean it out. Probably have to change that block out right there. Then we'll have to replace that one over here too. It's the same one, just the opposite side. So that's what we're doing now, is making sure everything's all dry. These are cruisers. So what we did over here so far, we had to, obviously we got this back off of here. Replace those boards there, replace that there. We're going to put a board in here. I'm going to put that in there to add some strength to this lower wall right here. It's got just a little bit of softness in it. But if I tear that out, I'd be tearing all this out in here on the inside. So that's unnecessary, because you'd end up taking the finish off of there. So we're just going to put a board in there. Now we're just going to get some glue on it. It'll hold the whole piece together. Get all over the back wall there. Alright, so we got our glue on there. Got it all insulated back in. Now we're just going to hang the sheet. Okay, back to our cruiser. So we put some new sheeting on the back. I think we already showed that video. We just laminated this back on here. And then we also, this piece here, that's the Luan that goes in the back side. On this one, they just had a frame. We showed you that as well. We screwed everything together on there. Then we relaminated this. Got our new, the windows in. This is butyl. We'll cut the butyl away when we go to clean that up. We got to let it sit for a bit, because even though it gets tight, the butyl just wants to keep oozing out. Then we've already got the roof going on. See our buffer strips right up underneath this edge here to protect the main roofing. And then we've got one side already rolled. We'll have to flip the sheet back, but that's what we're doing now, is rolling the roof. We got our buffer strips in here. This isn't glued down yet. You can see them right there. Then these ones here, get the one on the back. So we'll flip the sheet afterwards. Then after we flip it, you can actually see them, the little buffer strips right there up underneath the main roof. That's what we're working on now, just getting the roofing down. We got our marks right here laid out for our vents and everything. We'll go back and cut those afterwards. So that's about where we are with this right so far. We'll keep you updated. We got the front as well. We got that done. The delamination on the front, we had the same issue. It was actually down there. Maybe I'll see that blue tape that's still on there. We fixed that. Then on the other side, we ended up taking the front cover off on this cruiser. Then we fixed this one too. We've got a crack in there. We're going to fix that. It's epoxied on the other side, so it's all clean. But then we already had a crack here. We had a crack down below too. Way down below we had a crack. Way down there at the bottom. And we fixed all the cracks on the Phylon. The only thing is we got this. So we're going to probably re-decal this, and I'll probably put a decal up on this to hide this, and we'll clean it all up so it seats and looks well. So that's what we're working at now. Okay, so we've got here's our cruiser here, our fifth wheel. We've got all our curbs. They're just mounted in there. They're not welded yet. We're about to do that. We'll get them welded. And then this roof comes up and kind of slopes down. We're going to see how we can pull this together and make it look nice and clean when you have it and you go to fold it down, it doesn't matter what material you use, but you got all that transition going on. So we've got this right here in the corner. Typically we try to fold them all together and then heat weld it in there, and we'll see if that works out on this one here. So we've got all those there. The whole thing is already rolled down. I just got to heat weld all this in. We still have the front to do on here, which is we've got this one piece on here on the shelf, but we've got some other way down the bottom. We got to put trim down there and go around the rest of the coach, put turn bar on. So we're getting close. All right, there's our cruiser. So we got all our curves welded in, with the air conditioner all set in there. So these are one of the things we were looking at, how the transition comes down. That actually looks real clean. It come out real well. This roof's sitting down really good. Did this type of antenna. He wanted this one, so we made this little curve just so it looks good on there. And then the last thing we're going to do, we're going to add one more layer of caulking in here. We got one, I'm going to put another one on there. Make sure it's all nice and tight. And probably wash it down a little bit better than that. But for a fold, so when this roof comes over, it's pretty common. We have to do something with that. So we just hemmed it back in and re-welded it down. Lens was bad, so we put a new piece of glass on here, and then just sealed around it, sealed up underneath it and everything, so it's nice and tight. That's us. Same thing with this one. That looks pretty clean. That's our cruiser.